Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. There's no story on the front page, except for the fact that Tinubu's performance impressive in key areas, says North's leaders. And inside story, Tokwe has the inside story. So who has a story? Let me pick one story. You have one? Go ahead.
The nurses, yes. It's just that small red strip.
Oh, where is it? Oh, nurses strike grounds hospital in States, yeah.
In fact, this article cuts across all the country. They do the report of all the nurses, general hospitals and school of nursing everywhere, captured what is happening right now. So the nurses are on day 3, I think, of their strike. They've joined the strike. And if you go across everywhere, the Gondo General Hospital, all of those places, you will not see any activity. Their demands, of course, are that, let me quickly capture it. They are asking for creation of a department for nursing in the Federal Ministry of Health that will take care of them. Shift duty allowances for nurses at 30% consolidated. 20% specialist allowance. Are nurses specialists?
They are specialized ones.
Yes. Upwards, yes, they are. They are. Upward review of uniform allowances of 300,000 naira per annum. Constitution of the Governing Board of the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. Constitution of the Board of Federal Health Institutions to reflect their fair representation of nurses. They have plenty, but let me just stop at there because the next paragraph and next 3 paragraphs, you find other demands that they're asking. And we still have the NMA also joining this strike. This means that when you go to the general hospital now, it's unlikely that you get attended to. This is where we can find affordable health, not necessarily so affordable, I have a relative presently in a general hospital due for surgery this weekend. So as I'm reading this news, I'm not happy with anybody right now. Not happy at all.
Okay, let me take the UBEC because I'm quite interested in these UBEC funds. So the Minister of State for Education, Dr. Suwaiba Hamad, has said that the guidelines for accessing intervention funds from the UBEC, that's the Universal Basic Education Fund, are currently being reviewed to make it more flexible. If you recall, we took a story, I think, last week, where UBEC had accused state government for not accessing the available 250 billion naira funds in the commission. According to the commission, the states retained the funds instead of utilizing the resources to develop their basic education in their states. But yesterday, the minister noted that going forward, the disbursement of funds to the state government would be tied to performance matrix. She added that this is to ensure quality control and value for money. UBEC's executive secretary accused the states of the infraction at the 3-day financial management training they had in Abuja yesterday. The most common issue they had with the UBEC fund was the failure of states to provide the counterpart funding to enable them access the funds. So many of them were supposed to have something to match up, but unfortunately they couldn't, so they couldn't access the funds. But now she's thinking of ways to make it more flexible such that these states can access the funds. However, there'll be proper guidelines given to ensure that they indeed comply with what is provided so that they can access the funds. I don't know why it's being more flexible because it's really, well, maybe it's necessary. We have to customize these solutions for states individually, because Lagos State and a few other states are able to access it because they have the revenue, they have the funds, but others can't. So I'm happy about the flexibility.
Okay, so I have the story of, they said there's going to be a digital fair in Lagos, and they said that it's going to be in August, and Lagos State is the one hosting it. It's going to be a 3-day event that is aimed at empowering the next digital talent in Africa. They said there's going to be a tech guru. Her name is Tutu Adetumbi. She said it's a response to the demand for skill building, visibility, and economic inclusion in Africa's fast-evolving digital landscape. They said people who can attend are students, freelancers, and professionals. They're all expected to take part in it. And they're also saying that it's going to be a 3-day event. They said the first day will center on young talents, that's 18 to 24 years. They are going to be equipping them with foundational digital skills, career guidance, and access to job and internship opportunities. And then on the second day, they are going to shift it to freelancers. That's entrepreneurs, that's the early stage entrepreneurs, and then offering insight into business development, pricing, and client acquisition to help them grow. While the last stage is going to involve the professionals, That's the people who own businesses for over 30 years. But I was trying to look for the specific date, but no date. But it's happening this August.
Okay, congratulations.
If you're interested.
Yeah. So yes, I'm taking the FCCPC story where they have warned traders in Lagos against price inflation and substandard goods. So the commission's executive vice chairman and chief executive officer, Tuji Bello, gave this warning. It was in the markets, and they said the market organized engagement forum by the commission in Lagos, and he was representing the FCCPC's principals consumer, and it was represented by Mrs. Bridget Etim. They spoke about the fact that they've noticed that some products in Lagos are inflated, that the artificial price inflation, and so they are warning against it, and they also are emphasizing the importance of safety of goods that are being sold. The News Agency of Nigeria reports that there's an intensified engagement by FCCPC going to major markets. You know, sometimes we don't know what they are doing and we complain that they're not doing anything, but FCCPC is not just, before they will now clamp down on some markets and it will be seen at like you are clamping down without warning. They have actually been going to different markets. They were at mile 12, they've been to Alaba international markets, and they are going to other prominent markets to explain to them, don't inflate your products beyond standard price and ensure that you are selling good quality products. They want to maintain ethical standard and ethical practices, and they're educating ahead of punishment. So if you are not in those engagements, get informed about the FCCPC so that you don't fall under the law. Okay, The Nation, FGI 796. Punch. Oh, punch.
That's why you need your rest.
FGI's 796 billion naira annually from 5% petrol surcharge. Port Harcourt refinery not for sale, says NNPC. Varsity students to face drug tests, says Education Minister. Gunmen stab Ogun businessman to death. Abiodun welcomes ex-PDP chair, others to Ogun APC. Kings must respect ancestral burial rights or quit the throne, says Wande Abimbola. Patients groan as nurses strike grounds hospital nationwide. And UTME fraud. JAM prosecuted 110 in 5 years. Let's take one story for the break.
Okay, so quickly, the Minister for Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has agreed with the chairman and the chief executive of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency that students in our tertiary institutions should start to do random drug integrity tests. So this was announced by the spokesperson for the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, who says that this will be a three-pronged approach. They will be looking at revising drug education content in schools. They'll be introducing stand-alone drug abuse prevention programs in secondary schools and implementing a drug testing policy for tertiary institutions, including new students and returning students and random testing. And the minister is completely in agreement. And so I hope that this would reduce it. They also gave details of all their other wins, how they've arrested and, charged and tried other criminal offenders.
Okay, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the other part of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Still reviewing Punch. Yes.
Okay, so Port Harcourt refinery is not for sale.
Okay.
And in fact, its intention, that's the NNPC chairman, that's in person of Ojulari Bashir. He said that, in fact, they have intention to raise additional funding to complete the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery, refining company.
Please,
Other two refineries.
Sorry. I thought I had a brainwave. Were we not on this table when, what was that guy's name, the yellow boy, Ajuri, told us that Port Harcourt refinery is 100% sure that will start already?
Even the former group GMD was so sure that, it work. And
now I'm hearing
the one that is explaining me is that Trade Union Congress were the ones who went to visit it. That one that they are guys.
Yes, now, God bless you. Remember that.
No, they did. How much did the refinery even make last year?
Nothing. And again, they've even secured 16 trillion. As we speak now, they have approved 16 trillion for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt, Kaduna, and Warri refineries. And yesterday, I read in the papers, they have called him to talk about 210 trillion that has gone missing And he's saying that it's not missing and it has not been stolen. But he will set up a committee
to find it. Let's
keep watching.
Okay, another story.
Okay. Yes, there's a challenge there's been a real estate land tussle in Egbin area of Ikorodu State, and now they've had to involve the Lagos State House of Assembly. And the House of Assembly has adopted the motion that was, or rather, they've adopted the recommendation by the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Public Petition, and LASEIC's recommendation that the Royal Majesty Oba Aderiyomi Akim Ayebo for the unlawful trespass on the land of Prince Yusuf Obateru family land. The resolution was reached at the plenary session yesterday, presided over by the Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, and they presented the report. The chairman of the committee stated that the committee has emphasized the importance of embracing peace and respecting established traditional authorities. Investigations revealed that there is still need for Prince Moshood Obateru to immediately cease all allegations and petitions to the traditional ruler. This, when it comes to real estate matter, it's a bit shocking that this is the third case I know that they had to take to the House of Assembly to get resolved. Why are we taking real estate cases all to that point? Why don't we have a ministry in the land that's supposed to solve issues of land grabbers and conflict? But I realize that the issues, for it to be truly resolved, they need to take it to the House of Assembly. I don't think it is the right way. We should create systems that is efficient, that you will not need to be going to...
It's sufficient that there are court systems.
Okay, let me take the kings must respect ancestral burial rights or quit throne. This was said by the former Vice Chancellor of the Babafemi Awolowo University, Professor Wande Abimbola, was speaking yesterday, I think during an interview, where he said that the Agemo, which is a major Orisha of Ijebu, was virtually non-existent during the reign of the former Awujale. He said that he didn't hide his preference for Islam over and above the indigenous ways of life. His burial does not portray us as a people with culture and tradition. When the Queen of England died, they used the English rites of passage for her burial. Same thing happened with the Pope. Same thing happened during Christian burials, and even King of Arab, same thing. They have this. They have the Islamic rank that the Ijebu traditional culture was not seen or shown during the burial of the Awujale. That he was just advocating that going forward, that if anybody is going to ascend the throne, they must be able to accept the rights of the people. If not, don't bother becoming a king or.
65 years on the throne and progress for Ijebu people that is well noted, that is documented. I don't know.
He's a professor and he's trying
the burial have not happened.
He's also trying.
They are buried him now. You can
sustain
all
culture.
Of that.
The culture.
I agree. I agree.
So
I agree. Just that there's a thin line. He's been buried, and then there's still burial because we know Africans we don't even bury there, immediately. He's rested.
Okay, Vanguard. The oracle has spoken. Vanguard. Operating Buba refinery ahead of full turnaround, ill-informed this NNPC. Nigeria was heading for 12 trillion naira subsidy debt, says PCNGI. Presidency ex-ADC Chair Baker over alleged ministerial bribe offer. Mixed reactions trail INEC's verdict on local government polls. IDP's protest in Benue block Makurdi-Lafia Road. Okay, which story?
Let me take PCNGI. So our friend of the house, who is the CEO and coordinator of the PCNGI, that's the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagemi, was speaking at a stakeholders engagement, and he says that before President Bola Tinubu finally removed subsidy, Nigeria was heading towards a 12 trillion naira fuel subsidy bill for 2023, and that even though the Petroleum Industry Act had outlawed fuel subsidy payment, the unbudgeted subsidy paid for that year was 5.5 trillion. And if we have continued to do this business of borrowing funds for consumption, it was fiscally reckless and economical suicide for us to continue on that path. Then he went on to laud our richness in gas reserves, our natural gas reserve, says it's proven to be about 208 trillion cubic feet here, and we have these alternatives, and that the government has taken, a lot of it. When I see the videos of students, applauding the administration for payment of what's it called, student loan.
Yes. Under
the student loan, I wonder why the people that are queuing and causing traffic at the CNG gas stations are not doing the same. If you see the queue, I have one CNG car. We wait endlessly. Try and buy gas in these stations
on the
Sunday. So if you want to buy early, we target 6 a.m. to be able to get out of there on time.
Which one of your car is CNG? Didn't know that Michael didn't come through for us. I didn't know he has come through.
I did not know too.
I don't know.
You didn't know.
Some people that Michael was just a friend of the house.
Michael.
He's a friend of the house. Yeah. Which friend?
Nima knows how to get things done.
The same Michael that we'll be talking to that we have not seen.
We have not seen no. Uncle Michael, we're still waiting for our own. Let me take WAFCON. Because the last time I was on the show, we were discussing WAFCON, which is the story from Patience Avere. Patience Avere was a top scorer in the women's national team, Falcon, and she was one of those that was with the team that won the WAFCON 4 times in the past, and she has decried that the previous governments of Nigeria have robbed them of their generation. They played 4 times, won 4 times, and they didn't get anything. He said that she has appealed to the president to pay all monies promised the current squad directly to their account to avoid sore relationships. She's not even saying they should pay them. She's saying all these promises they are making, if you don't pay it into their account directly, it will be gobe, it will enter voicemail, because the promises that they made to them did not come to that. Many of those of our colleagues that won the 4 AFCONs, they are suffering and in penury. She said that she's living in America, but she said my generation was robbed several times by the government and NFF officials. They gave us peanuts as we campaigned, and in the African Women Championship, now WAFCON, we went to the Olympic Games, FIFA Women's World Cup. Promises in the regime of Olusegun Obasanjo were worthless, while some of the NFF officials and coaches sat on the little bonuses and kits. Former NFF president repeatedly asked some of us to send our account details without paying us till date. I feel that it is extremely important for these governments, in honor of their services over the years, to go back and investigate if those monies were paid. The House of Rep Oversight Committee on Sports, Youth and Sports should oversee this investigation to be sure where the monies disbursed to NFF and the ministries and the monies were not paid to the players. They must prosecute and pay them back their money, because their generation should not be robbed.
Honestly, that's the problem.
Let me take a story from Makurdi. The Makurdi Lafia Highway was yesterday taken over by hundreds of internally displaced persons housed at the Maga IDP camps on the outskirts of Makurdi in protest over alleged lack of food and other basic necessities. The angry IDPs who barricaded the highway at the junction leading to the camp held 3 branches and sang solidarity songs chanting, "We are hungry, we want to go back home." The protest came barely 24 hours after the visit of Nigeria's First Lady to the state, during which she donated ₦1 billion for the upkeep of displaced families in Benue. One of the protesters, who gave her name as Rebecca, explained that they embarked on the protest to draw the government's attention to their plight. "We want to go back home, we are hungry, and we're tired of staying in the camp." So I guess this goes back to what you just said, that it's one thing to donate, but it's another thing for it to actually get to the people. So the people are here crying, saying that they are hungry. So hopefully some of these donations can actually go to the right people as expected. Final paper for this morning. How much time do we have left? The Nigerian Tribune. NNPC rules out sale of Port Harcourt refinery. $245 billion human trafficking scourge threatens Nigeria's security, says AGF. Adeleke deploys 1,750 Imole teachers corps to Osun schools. First Hold Co. posts strong earnings growth in H1 2025. Bagudu Tinubu has been faithful to the north. And nurses strike grounds hospital. Any story in Tribune?
Let me quickly just take the Attorney General of the Federation. He was delivering a keynote address at the 28th National Stakeholders Consultative Forum and Summit on Human Trafficking in Abuja. And he mentioned that human trafficking generates, according to the International Labour Organization, a staggering 245 billion annually. And this crime that can, be local national or transnational, constitutes threat to persons and their families, communities and nations across the country. Is asking that, you know, there should be a united front against human trafficking, and that, you know, people should help in policing this huge crime against humanity.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. It's Thursday. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.